What kind of legacy will you leave? Hey, Cece Cheney here, and by now you've probably heard the news that Kobe Bryant has tragically passed away in a helicopter accident. And I've got to tell you, I'm not a big basketball fan. I am not into sports at all, if I'm being honest. But I know who the heck Kobe Bryant is, right? And his death stayed with me for a little bit yesterday, and um, the question that kept coming up for me is, what kind of legacy do you want to leave in this world, right? And so I thought now would be an opportune time to get some inspiration from none other than Kobe Bryant, and I would share that with you today. So I looked up several of his quotes, and he's got some amazing ones. He's got some really jam packed ones, but in terms of legacy, in terms of what it is that you want to create in this world, I picked out three that I thought could be impactful for you. So the very first one is, we can always kind of be average and do what's normal. I'm not in this to do what's normal. So my question for you is, are you just here to be average and to be normal? Is that the legacy that you desire to leave on this planet, right? Having lost both of my parents, lost my brother-in-law not too long ago, this idea of the kind of impact that you make really sits with me. And right, we all have that choice to be average, to be normal, to continue to do what everybody else is doing, or to be extraordinary, to carve out a path in something um, that is ours, to leave a legacy behind. And so that is something to consider as you're living your life, right? Are you living the average, ordinary life, or do you want to be extraordinary? Number two, uh, haters are a good problem to have. Nobody hates the good ones, they hate the great ones. And the reason that I chose this one, I think it's so impactful, is, if you're on a journey, if you're on a path to be great at anything, right? I'm not just talking sports here, whatever that thing is for you. If you're on a path to be great, you will probably encounter haters. You'll probably encounter doubters, shamers, people who do not believe that you have the right to step outside of what is normal and average, right? But you should take that as a sign that you're on the path to greatness, and don't let that keep you small. I've certainly been there. I've certainly um, slowed things down for myself because of that worry, that concern about criticism and all of that. Well, I don't care anymore, right? That's why you see me all the time. Is because I am committed to my journey, and if this is something that's been holding you back, take that cue, right? And the third quote, which I just this one hit me a little bit, because this considering the loss, I thought that this was really impactful. He said, "It's the one thing you can control. You are responsible for how people remember you or don't. So don't take it lightly." And I thought that was crazy. Here we are in a space of remembrance, right? One second he was here, the next he was gone, but he did what it took, right? He took that responsibility for how people would remember him, and as you could see, the vast majority of people have been sharing um, really, really impactful experiences based on the legacy. And even me, someone who's not a basketball fan, somebody who doesn't do sports at all, even I, even I can tell you who Kobe Bryant is and what team he played for, right? Because he was intentional about being responsible for how he'd be remembered. And there are so many people, and I don't mean this in any sort of a bad way, but there are so many people after that initial loss you don't remember, right? And that doesn't mean that their life wasn't valuable, doesn't mean that they didn't have anything to offer, but it says something when people can make such an extraordinary impact that so many lives are impacted when they're gone, right? So that was one of the things that um, was really powerful for me when I lost my parents both times. There were so many people who were impacted, right? Whose lives had been touched because of the way that they showed up in this world, and they certainly didn't show up to Kobe Bryant standards. But we don't have to, right? Um, we don't have to make that big of a splash. But it is our responsibility for us to determine how people will remember us, or if they even will, right? And so, as I'm on my own journey, I would like to think that people will remember me for certain things, right? I'd like to think that I can touch enough people to where I'm gone that I am remembered on some level, right? So those are, three quotes that can help you on your journey. If you are aspiring to greatness in any area of your life, know that haters might be on that path. Know that you're making a choice to not just be normal. Know that you are taking responsibility for how you'll be remembered, and hold on to those things as you're working on your path. So I would love to hear what it is you're working on, what it is that you are trying to create, what legacy you want to leave behind. Feel free to drop that in the comments or shoot me a message. Let's talk about it. Otherwise, I'll chat with you tomorrow. Ciao.